Space is terrifying. But what if I told you that the deep ocean, right here on Earth, is even scarier? Hidden beneath miles of water are crushing pressures, alien-like creatures, and mysteries we still cannot explain. It's a realm of absolute darkness, where the rules of life as we know them are completely We dream of exploring distant galaxies, but the greatest unknown might just be lurking right under our noses, or more accurately, under our boats. Today, you'll discover 10 chilling facts about the deep ocean that are genuinely scarier than space. I promise, the things we're about to uncover will make you see our planet in a whole new light. And you'll definitely want to stay with me until the end because you won't believe fact number 10. It redefines what might be hiding in the abyss. Let us dive in with our first fact. We've explored less than 5% of the ocean. Think about that for a second. We have more detailed maps of the surface of Mars and the Moon than we do of our own planet's sea. Over 95% of the deep sea remains completely unexplored, a black void on our own world map. That means there could be entire ecosystems, mountain ranges taller than Everest, and phenomena we haven't even begun to imagine. For every creature we've discovered, there could be thousands more that are stranger, bigger, and perhaps more intelligent than anything we've ever seen. We send probes millions of miles into space, yet the vast majority of our own planet's biggest habitat is a total mystery. What's down there? We simply don't know, and that is truly unsettling. Fact number 2. The pressure could crush you instantly. Here on the surface, we're living under a comfortable blanket of atmospheric pressure, but descend into the ocean, and that pressure multiplies with every foot. At the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the deepest known point in the ocean, the pressure is over 1,000 times greater than at sea level. To put that in perspective, it's the equivalent of having 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of you. Any human being would be instantly flattened into a pulp. Our most advanced submersibles are built like tanks, and even they can be compromised by this immense, unforgiving force. It is a reminder that the deep ocean is not just another environment, it is actively hostile to our very existence. Our third fact is that gigantic creatures really do lurk below. For centuries, sailors told tales of the Kraken, a monstrous squid that could drag ships to the bottom of the sea. It turns out they weren't entirely wrong. The giant squid is real, and it can grow longer than a school bus, with eyes the size of dinner plates. But here is the scarier part. We've almost never seen one alive in its natural habitat. Most of what we know comes from carcasses that have washed ashore or the occasional, fleeting glimpse from a deep-sea camera. If a creature that massive can stay hidden from us for so long, what other giants are still swimming in the abyss, completely unknown to science? It makes you wonder if the legends were just the beginning. Next up, fact number 4. Bioluminescent predators. Imagine a world of absolute, eternal darkness, a place where no sunlight has ever reached. This is the reality of the deep sea. To survive, many creatures have evolved to produce their own light through a process called bioluminescence. While that might sound beautiful, it's often used for terrifying purposes. Take the anglerfish, for example. It dangles a glowing lure in front of its razor-sharp teeth, hypnotizing smaller fish and drawing them to their doom. In the deep, a flicker of light isn't a sign of hope. It's a warning that a predator is near. It's a hunt in a world where the monsters make their own flashlights, and you're the prey. Fact number 5 deals with strange sounds we can't explain. Sound travels incredibly well underwater. And in 1997, our deep-sea microphones picked up something that baffled scientists worldwide. Take eat the Bloop. It was one of the loudest underwater sounds ever recorded, several times louder than the call of a blue whale, the largest animal on Earth. It was detected by sensors over 3,000 miles apart. 4 years, theories ranged from secret military experiments to a massive, undiscovered creature. The official explanation is now that it was the sound of a large iceberg cracking and breaking away from an Antarctic glacier. But the sound's profile doesn't perfectly match an ice, and to this day, many still believe it was something else, ... something alive. Now for fact number 6. The deep sea is toxic. You'd think the biggest challenge down there is the pressure or the cold, but some areas are also filled with poisonous gases. At deep-sea cold seeps, methane and hydrogen sulfide gases that are lethal to most life on Earth bubble up from the ocean floor. Yet, entire ecosystems of tube worms, mussels, and crabs have adapted to not only survive but thrive on these chemicals. They have a completely different biochemical makeup, a form of life that finds nourishment in what would kill us. It proves that life down there is far stranger, more resilient, and more alien than anything we could have imagined on the surface. This leads us to fact 7. Zombie worms and other alien-like life. The weirdness doesn't stop with toxic gas. Deep below, scientists discovered creatures called lozid or zombie worms. These boneless, mouthless worms secrete acid to dissolve the skeletons of dead whales on the ocean floor, feeding on the fats inside. They are just one example of the bizarre life forms that call the abyss home. There are others that live near hydrothermal vents, feeding off chemicals in a process called chemosynthesis, proving life doesn't always need the sun. These alien-like beings show us how life might exist in the harshest conditions, perhaps even on other planets or moons in our solar system. The deep ocean is like a test lab for extraterrestrial life. Fact number 8 is about black smokers. Imagine underwater volcanoes, but instead of lava, they spew out superheated, mineral-rich water. These hydrothermal vents, known as black smokers, can blast out fluids reaching temperatures of over 750 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt lead. Logically, nothing should be able to live there. But right at the edge of these scorching plumes, entire colonies of shrimp, crabs, and giant tube worms flourish. They have evolved to withstand extreme temperatures and pressures that would instantly destroy any surface-dwelling creature. It completely defies what we thought life needed to survive and shows just how adaptable and extreme life can be. Now, fact number 9. The graveyard of the ocean. As you descend, you can reach areas known as oxygen minimum zones or dead zones. In these vast stretches of water, oxygen levels are so low that most marine life can't survive. It's an eerie, silent graveyard where the normal rules of the ocean don't apply. Anything that dies and sinks into this layer decomposes incredibly slowly, creating a perfectly preserved underwater wasteland. Even our submarines tend to avoid these zones. They are vast, empty, and silent. But what lies beyond them? What strange chemistry and what even stranger life forms might exist in a world almost entirely without oxygen? It's another layer of the unknown. And finally, we've arrived at fact number 10, the one I've been waiting to share. The ocean is still hiding monsters. For centuries, sailors' logs and ancient maps were filled with drawings of sea serpents and colossal beings capable of pulling entire ships into the deep. We've long dismissed these as myths, the product of overactive imaginations. But as we explore more of the deep, scientists are beginning to admit it's entirely possible that enormous, undiscovered predators could still be alive, hidden in the depths we've never reached. Think about it. A creature like the giant squid was a legend until we found proof. What if a species of prehistoric marine reptile, like a mosasaur, somehow survived extinction in the deepest, most remote parts of the ocean? Scientists don't rule it out. The statistical probability is small, but it's not zero. The scariest monster is the one you don't know exists, and 95% of the ocean is a perfect hiding place. So, there you have it. The deep ocean is right here on Earth, yet it's as mysterious and, frankly, terrifying as the farthest reaches of outer space. We're talking crushing pressure, bizarre creatures that glow in the dark, inexplicable sounds, and the chilling possibility that the sea monsters of legend are more than just stories. Maybe the scariest thing of all is this: we've barely scratched the surface. We are aliens on our own planet, and the darkness below is holding secrets we may never uncover. What else is hiding down there, waiting in the cold, silent, dark? Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into the unknown. If you found this as fascinating and terrifying as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into the mysteries of our world. Let me know in the comments which fact creeped you out the most. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.